Well, hey, good morning, Wilshire. I'm here with Charlene Rasmussen. And Charlene, thanks for being here. And just earlier this morning, Charlene was here serving, and your husband Doug was serving here earlier this week. As we've been talking about serving, I love the way the two of you serve. And not only do you pour out your hearts here, and in fact, for Sunday's sermon, we are talking about having a generous spirit. If we are going to mentor others and help other people find and follow Jesus, it comes with a generous spirit, and both you and Doug have that, and I love that about the two of you. And, for many of you know, we have been sponsoring children out of our church plant in the Dominican Republic, and so we want more of these children that are in the community to come to know Jesus. And after sharing this, Charlene, you had mentioned how you had been sponsoring a child for years, and so tell us a little about the girl that you sponsored and some of her story.
The girl that I sponsor is Elsie Jean, and she is from the Philippines. And it happened that we were at a concert, and they were talking about compassion. And so my granddaughter was with me. She was about 7 at the time, and she wanted to look at the cards, and so we went out during the intermission and looked at the cards, and she picked up one right away, and it was a little girl from the Philippines, but she was 9 years old. So she kept looking for a 7-year-old and didn't find her. So Elsie Jean, we decided to sponsor, and sometimes Bridget helped with writing the letters, or she colored some pictures, for Elsie, and Elsie would color pictures back or send little notes. And we would send in our donation and send in a letter every time. And I think that's very important that you send back that letter, because that's what starts that communication. And that's what's really makes a strong relationship. We know that it was the Lord who put her in our life, and we were very, very blessed how Elsie would respond. One of the things was that we would give an extra amount of money at Christmas and at her birthday, and every time she was a little bit older when she started doing this, but when she was about 10, maybe 11, she started telling us exactly what she had done with that money, and it would be something for her brothers, something for her parents, and something for herself. And her brothers, one time it was got my brothers new shoes. Her mother, she got a sweater. And sometimes it was even food. She would say, "Oh, we got something special," that they wouldn't have gotten otherwise. So those were special gifts that she shared with me. That was, this girl is special, and
And you would share Bible verses with her, right?
right.
Back
And
forth.
we would share Bible verses, but the best was when she would tell me what those Bible verses meant to her.
Oh, neat.
That was absolutely fantastic. And she wrote a letter and said she loved us, and she loved me, and she said how special we were, that sort of thing. And that was a really, really special time, but the most special was about 2 months later when she told me that she had accepted the gift of salvation.
Oh, how neat.
And that was just so joyous. And
yes.
from that, her brothers and her mom and dad came to know Jesus as well.
Wow.
So that
Wow.
is,
That is so neat.
And over the years, she explained that.
Oh, neat.
We sponsored her through high school.
Yeah.
And then she went, she became a teacher. And she taught in the Compassion Center there in Manila for 2 years.
Wow.
And decided to go out into the village.
Wow.
Into a small village. And she did go into the small village, and that's where she met her husband. And that's where I lost contact with her. During those 2 years that she was in Manila, I had contact with her. Then I lost contact. Then about 3 years ago, she found me on Facebook. And again, she shared that, we had made a difference in her life. Well, we'd made a difference in her life, but God had put us there to make that difference in her life.
And I got to see what she wrote, and she also wrote, "I love you so much," and I love that. And so thank you for having that generous spirit and mentoring and bringing others along in the faith. And so love that both about you and Doug. So thanks for doing that. My hope and prayer is that we would all follow in those footsteps. And so thank you so much, Charlene. God bless you.
You're very welcome. And it is a responsibility, though, when you
Yes.
take that on.
Yes.
So,
Amen. Yeah.
so
I love that. I love that. Yep. Well, thanks again for joining us. And yep, we're going to keep going on. So thanks again for being here.
you're very welcome.
Yep.